G'day there, ladies and ledians. Welcome back to another episode of my Crystal Let's Play. Last time we were taking on the Cyanwood City Gym, aka Chuck's Gym, but then we kind of realized that we needed strength. I looked up where to get it because I kind of forgot, and so I do have it. And in case you're wondering, it was not in Mount Mortar, it's in the, kind of restaurant in Oldvine City. Which was interesting. They don't really tell you where the HMs are, really making them hidden, which is both good and bad in a way. But in any case, we have strength, which means we can now continue Chuck's gym. Hopefully defeat him today. That'd be great. And, from last episode, we had a surprise, stowaway on board. But what I've done is I have evolved this Totodile so that I can know which one is which. Makes it a bit easier, you know. And I've given it strength, so that'll be fine. But the other Totodile is still in the PC. I figure that I can use that for things like Waterfall and Whirlpool. Yeah, I think I only got one more HM move on this one. Yeah, I got 3. So I can give it Whirlpool or Waterfall, but I can't give it both. And I figure it's probably better than to catch another Pokemon. And so, yeah, today we are battling Chuck. Now the thing is though, because of our challenge, we're only using Ledian, but we need to have a Crocodile on our team in order to get to Chuck. So, what is going to happen is, if we run out of Ladybug and Ledian, I will try... Well, yeah, I'm gonna need... Okay. I'll either use Rage, depending on how the battle is going, and hopefully Crocodile gets knocked out. Alternatively, I will try to reset. We'll see how we go, but it is only Chuck, so hopefully we don't need to resort to that. In any case, we've got to defeat another trainer before we can get to Chuck, so let's see how we go. I do think that Chuck is going to be pretty easy. He's only got 2 Pokemon, so... I mean, so did Whitney, that's for sure, but I feel like Chuck is a bit easier to deal with. But we'll have to see. It is always possible that we lose. Just putting it out there. And we know from last time that fighting types are pretty likely to have a rock type move, so upping our defense is never a bad sign. Man, that was fair crit as well. Just leveling up Mimi a little bit. But in terms of when I'm going to breed the Ladybug, that's going to be probably after Jasmine, because that's around the level, after Jasmine, around Price is around the level 32, level 34 range, right? And that is when Butterfree runs Psybeam, and so then I can place that onto a newly hatched Ladybug to have access to a Psychic type move, which would be pretty useful with dealing with Team Rocket. Primate. Great. Let's try this again. Luckily, we double resist fighting type, so although we're not the best, this is the part of the playthrough where I predicted Ledian to be the best, and even then it's not particularly great. You know, without a single flying type move, this is a bit rough, and without Psybeam, it's extra rough, you know? Could be going to dedicate a Current Punch. I mean, Timmy's putting it in the hands, that's for sure. Alright, let's switch. Send in... We'll save Code later. We'll send in Grey. Rage is not a good move overall. We did have the reflect up, so it's not much of a difference. Even though the difference in stats isn't that great between Ledisman and Ledian, it is still always helpful to be evolved. Like, 390 is not good. If you consider that the majority of evolved Pokemon that are kind of bad around the like 450 range, you know? Pseudo legendaries like Dragonite and Metagross, for example, 600. And yeah, usually around like 450 is the Butterfrees and Beedrills kind of thing, you know? So, Ledian having 390 is not great. In my first video, talking about like the overall worst Pokemon being Ledian, I bring up other Pokemon that have the same stat total. And besides Ariados, they're all unevolved Pokemon, you know? It's not great. We got Yanma, we got Munchwax, Weepinbell, you know, like it's not great. They could have at least boosted our HP or our defense. You know, make it not like an attacking Pokemon, just more of a support or defending Pokemon. You know, that would have been fine, but they did not like Ledian. They liked Ariados more, that's for sure. Like, Ariados would be probably easier, but in any case, that's it's up for another day. What you gotta do is play through again, but with Ariados, and see how well we go. But here we are about to battle Shark. I do predict that we'll win on this first attempt, but you never know. If we do lose this first attempt, however, then we can start using Flash. I could use it straight away, but I like to reserve it for when we kind of feel backed up into a corner. So yeah, hopefully we don't need to use Crocodile. If it comes to it, I'll try to do a fancy edit or something, but I'm not particularly great with it. We'll see how we go. That's honestly pretty impressive that I can do that without being a Pokemon. Alright, here we go. Leader Chuck wants battle with 2 Pokemon. Well, try mate, we battled this before, so we know what to do. Let's put up a reflect. Okay, Leader. Kind of just want to switch and start laying out the hands. Let's send out. No, we'll save Crucible later. Let's send out Fusey. See how we go. Furious Lights. Reflect bonus effectively doubles our defense. Don't know the exact math on it though, but I'm pretty sure it is about double. Not great damage. Koi would be doing better with the special attack, but hey, we're doing decent. Considering he's only got 2 Pokemon, we got 5 usable Pokemon. I think we're doing pretty good. Not too bad. And the reflect will play out soon. There we go. So Parent does have a bit more of an advantage. But this fight is going as I predicted. I kind of figured that Ledi would be somewhat best here. But, like, there are better Pokemon to use for this battle, that's for sure. I'm not sure if he has a potion, but let's try and attack it. This is more accurate. Less damage, more accurate. There we go. Oh, crit. Easy. Alright. We've essentially got 4 and a half Pokemon. It's about a 1.0. Let's switch to Teamy to set another Reflect or Light Screen and see what's happening. Because I know that, yeah, there's that water attack that is okay, I guess. We got pretty good special defense. Wow. It might be worthwhile setting up a Light Screen then. Luckily, one of our advantages is speed. So we can set up a barrier, reflect or light screen before they can attack. But now we need to probably send in Chloe to Thunder Punch it. That's probably going to be best. I know it's got like a Mind Reader and Dynamic Punch. Dynamic Punch won't do much. But even though it's 50% chance to hit, it's 100% chance to confuse, making it effectively better than my Supersonic. So there's a possibility that, like this, we end up losing because of ourselves. But at least we don't need to worry about Dynamic Punch in terms of damage. It knows this as well. Okay, so that means it doesn't have any normal type moves, which should be fine. That was probably the thing I was most concerned about. Mind Reader, Hypnosis, Dynamic Punch, Surf. Well, I think we should be fine. And Dynamic Punch only has 5 PP, so if we can effectively tank the amount of Dynamic Punches Fire has, then it's only Surf that we gotta worry about. And we're doing pretty decent damage with Thunder Punch. It'll take at least 2 more hits. It'll take a bit to get there. Yeah, Chuck isn't really that difficult. Same kind of thing with Morty. Like, they both were that hard. And I guess we didn't have much trouble with Bugsy either. Bugsy was kind of the first attempt kind of thing. It was only really Faulkner and but that's mostly because of the amount of access to Pokemon you have at that time, like levels and evolutions and stuff. Okay, let's send out Bruce. Our physical man. Yeah. I believe, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe Mind Reader still hits even if the target digs or flies. Maybe it's wrong. Hypnosis and the Dynamic Punch definitely doesn't make this fight any easier. I guess Mind Reader into Hypnosis isn't that bad of a strategy. I wonder if we'll win based off Polygraph struggling, you know? There's a good chance that it runs out of PP for Surf and Dynamic Punch, which will mean that we can finish it off with Surf. But it does look like Bruce is gonna go down soon. Damn it. You know, I don't like the ability, but if we had the early bird ability, it would be coming in here right about now, you know? Alright. We've got 1 and effectively a half. Could go either way, really. Let's send out Teamy for another light screen. Just to help survival to Surf. Get the PP down a bit more. team is going to go down, which means it's probably going to be Fusey or Bree. Let's go Bree. We can do it. Could go either way, but I feel like we got the advantage. Assuming we hit. And assuming we wake up. That's the thing with Ledi, like, even though we can have a good strategy, our stats make it so that we kind of need to learn RNG. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that makes it a great Pokemon for battles. You know, like Flash is 70% accuracy, Comet Punch I believe is around 80% or so. You know, it's not great. Okay, we don't have any more access to light screen. Actually, Fusey might have it. But we can't really do a safe switch here. I haven't been counting the surfs, but I imagine Poryra's getting there. We are getting very low on HP though, so we gotta wake up soon. And get a good Comet Punch. Critical hit. Another crit. Nope. Just 2 times. Do we survive? We do not. So surprisingly, we're down to just Fusey. Now we do outspeed, I think, but we need a good Comet Punch in order to knock out this Pyra. Can we do it? Come on, Fusey. Crit. And there goes the battle! It really, turned the tables on us, but Fusey was able to clutch in the victory. Leader Chuck was defeated. Even Chuck's confused about how he won. Alright, we got the Storm Badge. Yeah, unfortunately, Ledian can't learn Fly. Undren, can we learn Dynamic Punch? That could be decent for us. Let me check. Oh, we can, okay. It is technically better than Supersonic. And it gives us a pretty decent fighting type move. So maybe it goes on to Bruce. I'll have to kind of think about it. But I guess I kind of gloss over the fact that I could learn it because it's like a physical move and our attack is so low. But I do... hang on, one sec, let me... there we go. Our next gym leader is going to be Jasmine. So that'll be fun. I'll heal up and we'll get over there. And we'll probably call it there. But I would also like to give a shout out to Cardboard Cubone, sorry. He's a pretty chill guy. Another fellow Aussie. We plan to do some collabs in the future. And honestly, his content is a mystery bag, like you never know what you're going to get with him. Makes it very interesting. There should be a link in the description if you need to check him out. I'm not going to have people in the comment section, like, sorry, in the description linked all the time. But it is going to be like when I do a shout out, you know, I'll do my best to put you in, you know? But yeah, we can, sorry, got distracted. Yeah, some collabs are probably going to be in the works. And so that'll be fun. Not going to spoil what we've got planned, but it's it's gonna be fun. And I was also kind of thinking, how to best word this? I do have something in mind in the future, not just for Cardboard Cubone, but for really anyone that I've been kind of in contact with. Because you can imagine that, like, commenting and subscribing to each other's channels is pretty good overall, right? Well, I kind of figure in the future, let's expand that a bit. I won't go into too much details right now, but let's just say that small Pokemon YouTubers should unite. You know, we should stick together, support each other. Once I'm feeling more confident, I'll kind of share some details about how we can make that reality. But that'll be in the future. How about this? If we manage to get to, say, 50 subscribers, then I can set it up. Maybe, if I get a lot of encouragement, I can do it without that. But we'll see how we go. Because I want, like, a sizable, like, audience before I really try something like this, but I feel like it could be useful for everyone involved. But if we don't get around to it, I'll probably end up doing it if I feel confident. Yeah, it should be interesting. In any case, we have made it to Olivine City. Yeah. So, our next gym winner that we're gonna battle is Jasmine, but I still need to do the lighthouse stuff. I could have done the lighthouse and then go to Signwood, but I figure, let's get Shock off screen, eh? So, next episode we'll be tackling the lighthouse, going up through that. Then we'll have to go back to Signwood to get the medicine. Then we'll have to come back to Olivine City to deliver it. Then we can finally battle Jasmine. Jasmine, I predict, is going to be as tough as Whitney, or tougher. But we'll have to find out in the following episodes. In any case, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.